Chrono Trigger is my favorite game of all time, period. The only game that has a spot that comes anywhere near close is Super Smash Bros., more specifically, Melee. But gosh dang, freaking Chrono Trigger, man. Everything, just all of it. Music, dope. Art, dope. Story, bananas. Gameplay, ATB at its finest. It's the pinnacle JRPG. But why don't I like other ones anymore? Every time I play Chrono Trigger, even to this day, it gives me chills, and it's enjoyable, but when I turn on Final Fantasy IX, I want to go to sleep. What gives? Why is it when it comes to this genre of game, I only want to replay the same 3 titles? Well, let's talk about the JRPGs that I do love. I already know you're going to hate this list, so bear with me. Chrono Trigger, Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door, Mario & Luigi, Superstar Saga. Now I know what you're thinking. 2 of those are Mario games, and I would have to agree with you. But I will tell you, they're also JRPGs, and the best the genre has to offer. Turn-based combat, leveling up, long complex stories, character development, it's all there. So what makes these baby games for babies more enticing to me than Suikoden 2 or Final Fantasy VII? Ultimately what it comes down to is, does it feel fun? And that question for me has been skewed the past couple years due to how I play games now. I play to be good. I no longer play games for a set experience or story. I play to learn, to get better, to beat the person across from me. So why on earth am I talking about single-player JRPGs? Bro! Because I really used to love them, and I want to learn to love them again. But first we need to make a few disclaimers. Persona 5 would probably be on this list if I actually played it more, but even for an hour, it pulled me in, and I really wanted to play more. I just never got around to buying it. I adore Undertale, but is that a JRPG or JRPG inspired? Let's ignore it. First, let's talk about Superstar Saga. Superstar Saga is like an intro to JRPGs, but it's also a good RPG. Even moving in non-combat feels fluid, natural, and it's fun to do stuff. But the combat is the best part. Timing your attacks, responding to enemy attacks, unlocking special attacks that have these skill caps. The game is really charming, the dialogue is fast and witty, and the animations really pull you in. Thousand Year Door has all of this, but stretched out into a 20-hour experience. It's much more thematic, and each chapter feels like a new act in a play, but it all ties to the main story, so you never feel disconnected from the main objective. Progression is Paper Mario's biggest strength. Closing each act is beyond satisfying, but the level up system is what drives the gameplay home. 3 stats: HP, FP, BP. And it's always 100 star points to level up. The numbers are super low because it really doesn't matter. If you assess the battle correctly, get the advantage, you, the good player, can always win. No grinding required. Chrono Trigger doesn't require grinding either, and the biggest difference is that the combat is not interactive, kinda, but that it's very reactive if you want it to be. ATB worked for the time, but there are much better ways of doing turn-based combat in games today. Chrono Trigger, however, did the ATB system the best. When on active, as soon as an enemy is capable of attacking, they will, which means the player has a lot to manage in the menu department, but they also need to pay close attention to where the enemies are on screen. Another thing players need to be attentive to is their choices in the story because of alternate endings. Obviously, other JRPGs have these things, but what's different? Am I old? Is it nostalgia? I don't think so. I finished Undertale, but I can't seem to find the time to finish Tales of Symphonia, an amazing game once you get into it. And there lies the problem. Once you get into it, immediacy and accessibility are really important to me in a game, and those 4 games got them. Action RPGs are in a tricky spot because you just swing your weapon, and if it doesn't suck to swing, everything else around that would have to be super shitty to fuck it up.